walk my talk. I played the game.
You played the game. You know that. You know one level of it.
And I know. I used, like I say, I used to play around with the world leaders, so I know what they're planning on doing. The players that are analyzing everything are expecting massive foreclosures next year, in the beginning of what we call the recession. It's going to be worse than '29.
Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe? Your clothes are different, the plugs in your arms and head are gone. Your hair has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
Welcome to the real world.
People across Britain are about to wake up to a whole new...
If you program the population to believe that this world is all there is, that this is a solid world of solid individual objects, then the idea of things appearing and disappearing or shape-shifting from one state to another, to that, this reality that we think is so solid and all that there is actually like a radio station. And this physical body, this holographic illusion, locks us in, tunes us in like a radio to this radio station, to this reality.
Okay, back to the real world.
Is the real world...
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure it was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride, and we kill those people. Shut him up. We have a lot invested in this ride. Shut him up.
Hey, Stewie, we got a postcard from Peter and Lois on the cruise. What are you doing?
Oh, hello, Brian. Well, you recall my complaining about Lois and the fat man not taking me with them?
Yeah?
Yes, well, you said I didn't have it in me to kill Lois, so I was just running a simulation to find out exactly how killing her and taking over the world would play out for me.
Yeah? How'd that go?
Not well, Brian. Not well. I suppose I'm not ready to kill Lois or take over the world. Yet.
So what you're saying is that what you experienced in the simulation didn't really happen or even matter?
Yes, that's correct.
So it was sort of like a dream?
No, it was a simulation.
Yes, but theoretically, if someone watched the events of that simulation from start to finish, only to find out that none of it really happened, I mean, you don't think that would be just like a giant middle finger to them?
Well, hopefully they would have enjoyed the ride.
I don't know, man. I think you piss a lot of people off that way.
Well, at least it didn't end like The Sopranos, where it just cut to black in mid-sentence.
Who told me very directly that there are structures, ancient structures, on Mars, connected to a civilization that's connected to early human civilization on Earth. And he has confirmed this to me, and he said, but the reason that NASA will not disclose this sort of information is that it would collapse, and I'm quoting, collapse the foundations of all the orthodox religious belief systems on the planet.
That we're headed for your home planet, where your race has lived since the beginning of the universe? Ah! So, how did the universe begin? Then the meaning of existence, so every religion is wrong.
It was only part of the story.
No, that's only half the story. I was there. Jack Landry calmed that crowd down.
Unfortunately, that's not what the rest of the world is going to see on your internet.
One kiss upon her lips so sweet. Thus ends your quest. Thus ends the game. And thus your soul is saved.
We already heard that.
Yeah, I know that. But finding a door out may be impossible. If we die, it only resets the level. Once your way out, we achieve the end game.
Disclosure will probably have the same dramatic impact as 9/11, the Kennedy assassination, Pearl Harbor, all rolled into one, because it's such a game-changing, life-altering event, and it's going to come in a shock, really shock and awe.
With the political agenda to have it all come down so we can all blame God or somebody else for all the events that are going to occur, or follow the prophecies. One of the two.
Yet you think they're the ones who will bring it down upon us.
Exactly. Except for the extraterrestrials that I've been contacted. It says, wake up, guys, you're in a huge play. That, you know, it's like William Shakespeare said, the whole world's the stage and we're just the players on this thing, which is actually correct. The thing is that there's play going on multi-dimensions and from different places right now. There's a group of extraterrestrials that consider us a virtual reality game.
Doesn't have to play out that way.
What are you talking about?
I found a way to change the game.
These games have played out on other planets throughout the universe.
Game reset.
Union Army toasted their triumphant rewriting of history.
Will determine how the machine reacts.
What determines Peter's frequency?
Depends on his state of mind, which in turn will depend on who he ends up with. Olivia from here or Olivia from over there.
This is the universe. It's really, really big. Every story has a beginning. Even the story of the universe.
Look, we all agree none of us want to be us, but we're stuck being us, so just climb on board.
Bursting with attitude.
Calling all you creative so-and-sos. You know those Eastings that we at E4 Towers love to stick in our adverts? Well, wouldn't you just know it? They're made by you, the lovely E4 viewers. But
whichever one he chooses. Live. In her universe that survives.
Then time may be running out for us all. Super Eruption is coming tonight at 10.
The truth of the matter when it comes to analyzing who the others are and how we will respond to that is that the people who actually know the most right now have not been talking for 7 decades. So the question really is, will we be okay with this new interaction with this non-human intelligence?
There are other people, other beings, other intelligences that have been observing us for a long time. That evidence is overwhelming. They are aware that we are about to leap into their world.
But then there are others who are just watching and observing. Now, there are some who are interacting.
And I do believe that we as a species are going to prove mature enough that when we wake up to the fact that our world is totally different than what we thought, that we will find a way to deal with it.
How about, some of the physical laws, if we talk about that as well? Some have even suggested that we actually live in a, in a kind of computer game environment, if you will. Things are very restricted in a 3D sense, at least. Do you subscribe at all to the idea that this, the universe is kind of a holographic computer and we're inside this game, if you will?
Yeah, it's a very interesting idea. And, as I thought about that, it occurred to me that, ultimately, when you break it down, it doesn't really make that much difference, because if it's, let's assume it is a game, but the game is played with all the same chess pieces that constitute the atoms and quarks that populate the physical cosmos. So, in a sense, the ideas collapse to the same idea.
What about evolution again, then? Is this thrown out the door, if you will, with your thesis, or how does that fit into it?
Oh, no, absolutely not. But it really reconceives terrestrial evolution as essentially a subroutine in a larger process of cosmic ontogenesis. And ontogenesis is the process by which a fertilized egg matures into an adult form of a particular organism. So, there's the old adage, probably, and pretty much demonstrated to be literally incorrect, of ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. And what that means is, as the embryo develops, it essentially exhibits some of the characteristics of earlier forms of evolved species. And what I'm basically saying is that evolution absolutely exists and operates, but it's a subroutine. It's a component of a much larger process of maturation.
Mr. Speaker, I may be new to this game, but I think I asked the questions and he should answer them.
Cheers.